Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning with Dylan Denmark. The hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us as you have just heard Bishop Kenny. A dominating performance in the state capitol tonight. A big victory over Tallahassee Rickards. Really nice win on the road tonight for Bishop Kenny. Other finals that are rolling in. Again, it's still relatively early in the evening. It is only 9:20, so a lot of games are still in doubt. Wolfson, a 45-8 winner tonight over Stanton. It was Paxson over Inglewood. Ed White looks like they're going to hold on to defeat Atlantic Coast. It is a final.
48-21.
Okay, so Ed White added a couple of touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They get it done over Atlantic Coast. Orange Park, a winner tonight over Westside. Baker County over Halifax Academy. It was homecoming at Baker County. They win it tonight 49-6. Mandarin, no problem with Rockledge. That was a long road trip for Mandarin. They're up 30-0 in the fourth quarter. The Channel 4 game of the week, I just left the Channel 4 studios. Beachside 31-7 over Tocoi Creek down there in St. Johns County as I welcome in Dylan Denmark. And Dylan, I think the big word of the night or the big phrase of the night is bye weeks because there are a lot of bye weeks tonight. Nevertheless, still some good action. Fleming Island and Creekside is still very much in doubt. Trinity Christian and Riverside is a competitive game in the fourth quarter, but certainly a lot of schools taking the week off.
Bye weeks, and I'll say weather. I don't know if you saw, it was like some games, no rain whatsoever. I know all across the city there was scattered thunderstorms. Middle of the afternoon, typical Florida. I don't know if you saw some of the videos from Clayton Freeman, what he was putting out. He was at the Ed White Atlantic Coast game. Okay. And Atlantic Coast was at homecoming, and it is an absolute monsoon at halftime, and they're trying to name the homecoming court. That was pretty good videos that he was putting out. But yeah, I mean, it's just typical Florida and a couple other games. West Nassau is going to hang on and win. Just saw who they were playing. Keystone Heights. Yeah, they were up 40-0. And Trinity is going to hang on to beat Riverside 22-13. Riverside scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left. Neither the two-point conversion to tie. Didn't get it. Trinity recovers the onside kick, and they go down and score a touchdown. So Riverside made that a really close ball game, and Trinity's going to hang on to win. Hopefully, Verlin Dormany can come on the show for the first time this year.
Yeah, that'll be a priority. We'd love to have Verlin Dormany on with us tonight. Bradford County is going to defeat Palatka, it looks like. So Bradford County, a nice win for them. Again, Bishop Kenny just destroyed Tallahassee Rickards. Yeah. Really nice win. Probably the best game of the year that Bishop Kenny has played. Dominating effort in the state capitol tonight. Creekside, Fleming Island, the last score I have, 16-13 in the third quarter. Big game for both teams. Both teams trying to find themselves here at the middle point of the year. And Creekside up by a field goal right now in the third.
Yeah, I saw Fleming. Okay, I had 19 minutes to go. Fleming had 20-16.
Oh, so they'd taken the lead. Okay.
Where I'm trying to keep track. So Creekside keeps 1 second left. 16-13 Knights. And then it was 20-16. So I guess Fleming had the lead. That game, that's a back and forth game. That game's going to come down to the very end.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. By the way, the week started last night. University Christian, a tough one for UC. They lose by 20 last night. You don't see that very often with University Christian.
No, and that's one of those, you're just going to start when you get to October, some of these teams start playing on Thursday night. And playing on Thursday night, have a little quicker week of practice. Usually your Mondays are a little easy. Tuesday, Wednesday, you go full pads. Thursdays your walkthrough. Well, you got a game on Thursday. It's more of Monday. You go a little quicker than you usually do. Tuesdays are all out day. Wednesdays your walkthrough. And I was a little bit surprised by that score. University Christian falling up a little short.
We'll start lining up victorious head coaches in just a moment. I will tell you as well, Rains and Ribault tomorrow, the Northwest Classic, 2:00, the best rivalry in high school football in our area, certainly. Rains has won 8 games in a row in the series, looking for a 9 spot tomorrow. We will have conversations with both coaches tonight under the Friday Night Lights. Donovan Maslin of Rains, Michael Hunter of Ribault, both will stop by to preview tomorrow's festivities.
And Mandarin's the final now, 38-10.
Good win for Toby Bullock and Mandarin.
And they went to there.
Yeah, in Rockledge. So Toby Bullock is going to be on a bus coming back from Rockledge. We'll get him on in a little bit. Tim Krause is going to be on a bus coming back from Tallahassee. We'll get him on in a little bit as Bishop Kenny takes care of Rickards. Is there anything? I mean, the Wolfson score is crazy to me. I mean, Stanton went in there. Stan's had a pretty good year. I'll say this about Wolfson, and you'll be able to tell me a lot more next week. You're on the Baldwin staff, and you play them next week, my alma mater versus your alma mater. But Wolfson has scored some points this year. That's an impressive win tonight for the Wolfpack.
Yes, I'm trying to pull up their schedule. They've scored a lot of points considering, what Wolfson's been the last couple of years. Let's see here. So week 4 they beat Kip 10-0. The following week they beat Bishop Snyder 49-0. They scored 30 against Andrew Jackson. I think a lot of those points were late in that game. I think it was a running clock, and regardless, that's putting up 30 points against Andrew Jackson is pretty good. And then winning tonight against Stanton 45-8. I mean, this was a team the first 3 weeks scored 12, 13, and 0 against Paxton Fernandina and Impact Christian, and they've been able to find something on offense the last couple of weeks.
Of course, Dennis Benger, the head coach at Stanton, was formerly the coach at Wolfson, so it was interesting that Wolfson was able to put a number on Stanton tonight. It is a final. West Nassau is a winner. We'll have Gunnar Cox on, the head coach of West Nassau. Coach just texts in 52-0 West Nassau over Keystone. As, again, we'll have Gunnar Cox of West Nassau coming up here in just a moment, but a nice win for West Nassau tonight.
Yeah, West Nassau, let me pull up their schedule as I'm trying to speak. I know they've had a couple of good wins. They're in the Sunshine Conference. Did they play Yulee last week or was it the week before?
They've played Yulee already
that was a couple
year.
Weeks
yeah,
ago.
Yulee got
that
the
was
victory.
The 19th, okay. So West Nassau is 7-1. And they've had the last couple of weeks, they beat Fernandina Beach, a district game. They beat Keystone Heights tonight. They only have 2 more games. So they have a bye. They play Satellite. They play at Satellite next week, and they have a bye week, but then they go to Dixie County. And then they have the Sunshine playoffs. The playoffs for the Sunshine Conference, I think, is a week. It starts a week before the FHSAA playoffs. So
that makes sense because their season started a week before.
Yeah, their first regular season game was August 15th, and that was the kickoff classic for most teams in the FHSAA. So West Nassau is one of the better teams. Yulee is a really good team. Yulee is second in their region. Rains is 1 on the FHSAA RPI rankings. We'll get into later tonight. So no shame in losing that game a couple weeks ago, 17-0. But West Nassau's been on a roll in that Sunshine Conference with a 7-1 record.
You know, what's interesting is the Channel 4 game of the week. I was just at the Channel 4 studios. The Channel 4 game of the week when Justin Barney and I were doing the streaming show was Beachside and Tocoi Creek in St. Johns County. Beachside was up 10-7 at halftime. With 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, Beachside was up 31-7.
That's crazy.
They put 21 unanswered in the first 6 minutes of the second half to pull away from Tocoi Creek.
And I know Beachside's got a really good quarterback and 3 really good receivers. I mean, they have 3 receivers, I think, that can go for 1,000 yards receiving on the year.
And it was their running game tonight, though,
really?
That was getting it done. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, find different ways. You have a good offense. I mean, usually that's because you have a good offensive line, and they were able to change that up tonight.
We talked to Victoria's head coaches under the Friday Night Lights. It's what we've done now for 19 seasons. And West Nassau, a big winner tonight over Keystone Heights. Gunnar Cox, the head coach of West Nassau, joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Had a good night. It rained a little bit, but we got the win, and we're out healthy. So it was a good night to be a Warrior.
When it's a weather game, and trust me, I saw issues all over the area, fields, sloppy surfaces, that sort of thing. What is that like out there at West Nassau? How did you guys deal with the elements?
It's just, trying to keep the kids' heads in composure, getting used to the field. We don't really have much of a problem with the field, with our brand new turf field. So, it keeps us, our kids are used to it now. But, just trying to maintain your composure. You just got to understand, you got to make sure you're planting your feet. You got to make sure, you're catching the footballs and everything. But our kids did a really good job of maintaining with the weather, and we had a good night.
Coach, you got 2 games left on the schedule. You go to Satellite, and then you go to Dixie County, a bye week in between the 2 of them. Explain to me right now how you stand right now in the playoffs with the Sunshine. I don't think a lot of people understand how the Sunshine Conference works. Just walk us through the Sunshine Conference, the playoffs right now, and how that's working for you right now.
Well, right now I just told my kids, look, we want to put everything in our hands in every game. We don't want to use any excuses. And the Sunshine, they rank a third, and third. Your max prep trainings, your strength schedule, and your winning percentage. So right now, we're in a great opportunity to hopefully be the number 1 seed, and host some playoff games. But we just gotta keep winning every single game and get ready.
Coach, 7-1 for you. 2 games to go in your regular season before postseason play begins. You got to be pretty thrilled where you are 8 games into the year.
Oh, absolutely. We hadn't, big thing, talking about winning, at home. We hadn't lost a regular season home game in the past 2 years here. So, when you win a lot of games, then, especially at home, then you get home playoff games. It's a huge advantage for us, and that's the advantage we want to keep. So, so we just gotta keep working on the little things, and hopefully we can make a run for this SSAA state championship.
Gunnar Cox of West Nassau, winners tonight over Keystone Heights. They are now 7-1 on the year. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Go Warriors.
There you go. Big win for West Nassau. It was a big win on the road tonight for the Mandarin Mustangs. They go down to Rockledge and they take care of business. Toby Bullock, the head coach of Mandarin, on his way back, what I'm sure is a very happy bus ride home. Actually, let's get Toby back up. Toby just dropped. That's part of being on a bus ride, right?
Yeah, the game went final not too long ago.
Yeah, the game went final not too long ago. So we'll get Coach Bullock back up here in just a moment. Before we get there, let's go to Lawrence Johnson of Ed White. They were winners tonight over Atlantic Coast. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Coach, a back-and-forth game with Atlantic Coast until you guys ultimately pulled away late. You must be very satisfied with the victory.
Yeah, I am. We had to overcome a lot of the bad weather and stuff like that. And, our guys played really hard in the fourth quarter, and we were able to come away with the win.
Yeah, Denmark was telling me apparently it was it homecoming for the Ed White Atlantic Coast, and they were doing some ceremony on the field at halftime in what looked like a monsoon. So that was probably an interesting dynamic out there, Coach.
Oh, yeah. We of course, we had to stay out. We didn't have anywhere to go. So we're out there getting soaked, and they got homecoming going on, and we had a lead at half, and then we came out and had a couple turnovers, and they eventually took the lead, and then I was just proud of the way our guys played in the fourth quarter. At the start of the fourth quarter, it was 21-20 after we had 2 back-to-back turnovers, and then we just kind of opened it up late. Our offensive line played great and finished it off in the rain.
Coach, I saw your running back, the sophomore R.J. Lloyd. He was counting his fingers after one of the touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he end up having tonight?
I think he had 3 touchdowns tonight. He ran hard all night, especially when it started raining. It was tough to tackle him.
Coach, obviously last week did not go the way you wanted to. It was a back-and-forth game that ultimately did not go your way at the very end. But for your kids to come out 7 days later, respond to that, and come out with a big victory must make you pretty happy at their response.
Yes, it does. Anytime you can bounce back from a win, it's always a great feeling. And, now we got our 5th win of the season, and we got to worry about Sandalwood next week.
Lawrence Johnson of Ed White, winners tonight over Atlantic Coast. Like Coach said, they got Sandalwood next week, as Ed White only still has 1 loss this entire season. Coach, congratulations on a big win tonight.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Lawrence Johnson of Ed White. Now let's go to a very happy, victorious bus on the way back to Duval County. Toby Bullock of Mandarin, winners tonight over Rockledge. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, brother.
Coach, that's a nice win. That's a nice road win. I know we talked to you last week. You like to take one of these road trips to get ready for hopefully a run in the postseason. And man alive, you guys went down there and took care of business.
Yeah, we had to overcome a lot of adversity. We had 3 explosive touchdowns called back, and the one scoring drive we gave up, I don't know that they gained a yard. They just kept calling penalties on us and moving them down the thing. So the kids handled the adversity really well, and so I was very proud of them about that. They kept their cool, didn't lose their cool, and so that was a big, grow-up moment for us. And so, you always want to get a win, but when you can see them mature a little bit, that's always great.
Coach, I think I'm obligated to ask you, how did the star receiver Bryson Wright play tonight?
He had a 70-yard run called back. He had another big catch called back, and I think he probably had about 110 receiving and a touchdown. But he had a bunch of big plays called back, unfortunately.
Coach, I'm sure you saw what Xander Edwards at Bowles did last week, and I've been talking a lot about him and Bryson over there at Mandarin with you guys arguably the two best players in the area, arguably, are both sophomores. What does it say about both of those young men, particularly Bryson, you're around him, that 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds can have this type of impact for these football teams?
Now, he's actually a young 15.
Wow.
Crazy.
Craziness, yeah.
Yeah, he's a young 15. Xander's a phenomenal back. Like, it's fun to watch him run. It kind of reminds you of old boy down in Allstock down in he might be faster in comparison to his teammates that Allstock was playing with in the NFL. But Bryson's the best football player, talent-wise, I've ever seen in 20 years. There's just, other than Derrick Henry, I don't think he has a comparison. And he can do things that just you just don't see.
And that's quite a statement coming from you, because you've seen a lot of great talent in your time.
Yeah. No, I've been blessed to be on some really good teams. When I was with Marty Lee at First Coast, shout out to Coach Lee, we had some unbelievable talent. We've had some unbelievable talent at Mandarin. I've had a wonderful career with being around some great kids, but Bryson takes the cake. He's a special talent that only the Lord on high could give him that.
Well, Coach, it was a big win for you tonight over Rockledge, and now you kind of take a deep breath, and it's 2 district games in 3 weeks. You got a bye week sandwiched in there. It begins next week with Fletcher. Fletcher just defeated Flagler Palm Coast tonight, 28-12, so that should be a really fun game there at Mandarin High School next week.
Yeah, Fletcher and Fletcher Mandarin's a definite rivalry. It's something that will always be on the schedule. It's just what C4 does over there is some great stuff. They're always a great opponent, and I can tell you this: we won't overlook them. I know that much.
Now, Toby Bullock of Mandarin, winners tonight on the road down at Rockledge, and the Mustangs get ready to get back into district play next week as they take on Fletcher. Coach, safe travels home. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. +2.
Toby Bullock, one of the good guys with a big win tonight, his program over Rockledge. And I'll tell you this, Fletcher, not as far a road trip, Denmark, but they go to Flagler Palm Coast, get it done. Bishop Kenny goes to Tallahassee and obliterates Rickards. Mandarin goes to Rockledge and has an easy game there, an outcome there. A lot of bragging rights in Northeast Florida. 3 longer road trips, 3 W's for our area teams.
Yeah, and at least for the time being for tonight, there's a lot of teams tonight, if you're catching up with us, there's a lot of teams tonight that had a bye week. Bowles, Nice, Oakleaf, Baldwin, Andrew Jackson,
to
name a few.
Yeah.
So, it is nice, a lot of the Jacksonville teams that go west have not had a lot of success in the playoffs. And hopefully that can change. With a lot of teams, the way the regions are set up, a lot of teams are going to have to go west. And for a lot of the teams that do that tonight, I'm sure that's a nice, look for the next couple of weeks. If you're going to be a playoff team, hey, we can do this, and these are the travel plans that we got to do, and leaving and heading out there. It is a nice win for a couple of these teams to get on a bus and travel pretty far and get a win.
All right, we're off and running. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights were presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. More victorious head coaches to come. We will also hear from both head coaches from the Northwest Classic. That's tomorrow afternoon, Raines and Ribault. We're with you until about 11 o'clock tonight, Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us under the Friday Night Lights. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Saturday and Sunday, we watch the games.
We're all on the same page then.
We spend Monday talking about what we saw. Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Post-Game Monday. Makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator Station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Jacksonville is my hometown and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Jacksonville, All Elite Wrestling is coming home to Daly's Place for 2 huge nights. Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and a special Wednesday Collision, October 8th. Feel the real as the greatest professional wrestlers in the world deliver a homecoming to remember. Championships at stake on a Tuesday, and stars collide on a special night. It's AEW's Homecoming with Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and Collision, October 8th. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coaches Corner on 1010XL.
We'll give you a complete scoreboard update in just a moment. Under the Friday Night Lights, started a little early tonight. Bishop Kenny had a running clock and a victory over Tallahassee Rickards. Another dominating performance tonight was out in Baker County. Brock Kennedy of Baker County, they were winners tonight, 49-6. And Coach joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach, dominating performance for you guys tonight. I believe it was homecoming out there, and that's a nice way for the crowd to enjoy homecoming with a 40-point victory.
Yeah, it's homecoming really special to this place. So I was happy for our kids, and not only our kids, but our community. They take great pride in this week, and just thankful that we were able to come away with a win and get ready for the Swanee Bulldogs coming next week.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. So you get your 3rd win on the season tonight. Then you have 2 district games the next 2 weeks. That's where, in high school football, that's where you make your bread and butter. What do you guys need to work on, you think, to get your first district win next week against Swanee, Coach?
Swanee, if you look at them on film, they've had some really tough breaks. They got hard, their strength of schedule's got to be ranked up there amongst the best in our region. It's going to take a great week of preparation, mental focus, and we're a little banged up
we have our bye week is the week after Swanee, so it's been a long season up to this point. So we're going to have to kind of grind it out, and we like we've talked about this upcoming 4 weeks is an important stretch for us in our future in the playoffs.
Coach, you've won 2 out of 3, and the one game you lost was right there in the fourth quarter against Godby. Do you think like you guys are finding yourselves as we enter the month of October?
I think we're starting to. We've talked about the last week, especially if the next 4 weeks has to be our best football. Has got to be. Godby, I felt like we found a way to lose the game. Obviously tonight, we won it pretty convincingly. Next week, without a doubt, we're going to have to find a way to win it and put them away when we get the opportunity. But it'll be a good one. It definitely will be a good one. I know Coach Hall well, and he'll have his guys prepared, and they'll play their tails off.
Coach, as we begin to wrap up, what's your philosophy? Because next week's a big game. I mean, and I know in today's day and age of social media and the standings are on all these websites, I mean, the kids might find out anyway, but are you going to let them know that next week, guys, this is a big one?
Yes, we've been talking about it. We even we took portions of this week's practice to get a head start on practicing against Swanee. They know just how big it is. If we win this one, bottom line is we win next week, we hold our destiny in our own hands, and that's the way we want it. So.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a homecoming victory tonight, and best of luck against Swanee next week in district play.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all.
Brock Kennedy of Baker County, winners tonight over Halifax Academy. Nice homecoming victory for Baker.
Yeah, I'm looking at Swanee's schedule. So they played Columbia week 1, lost.
Yeah.
They played Lafayette, who only have 1 loss, and I think they're in the rural division. Madison County lost. Godby lost. And they played Wakulla last week. That is brutal. And they only have 1 win.
I don't think I ever told you this. So my stepbrother played for Live Oak Swanee and was on that team that won 4 consecutive state championships.
Oh, wow.
In the late 80s, early 90s. They won 4 state titles in a row.
Impressive.
Played with Matt Fryer, former wide receiver at Florida State. So there's a history about Live Oak Swanee football. They're down a little bit, but there is a lot of passion in that city. There's obviously a lot of passion in Baker County. So that should be a lot of fun next week in what is a huge game for both teams.
Without a doubt, that'll be Baker's second district game on the year. And like Coach says, it's a playoff game from here on out for them. They got 3 wins on the season, and they need wins to build that strength of schedule to make the playoffs.
You were telling me there's some interesting endings coming around across the area, including a good finish between Creekside and Fleming Island.
Creekside right now has a 4th and 3. There's about a minute left. Fleming's up, I think, 27-23, and he's right at the line. I think they got the first down. So they got a minute left and first down. So Creekside has the ball at the 8-yard line right now without a minute left.
Wow.
So we're going to know pretty quick. This probably get the best game in the area.
We'll keep you updated on Fleming and Creekside as they are coming down to the wire. Trinity Christian in the winner's circle as they beat Riverside tonight. My buddy Verlin Dormany of Trinity Christian joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, Hack, thank you, man. Thank you. I ain't got to talk to y'all much this year.
I know. I was going to bring that up, Coach. I mean, I know it's a young team. I talked to you early in the year at the high school media day, but this is a big win. This feels like a big win for you guys tonight.
It was. It was.
Coach, we got you. All right, let's go ahead and pot him down, Grace, and let's figure out what's going on there with the coach. But we'll get Verlin back on the horn here in just a moment. It does feel like a really big win for Trinity Christian tonight.
There's no doubt. And people are going to look at their schedule and say, that Trinity's not the team that they thought. Well, I mean, they played Ed White week 1. Ed White's a really good team, and turnovers killed them in that game. They played Bowles week 2. Trinity was a 2-point conversion in the start of the second half to tie Bowles at 14 apiece, and then Bowles ended up running away with it in the fourth quarter. Rains is rains. And, then they played Columbia close, what was that, 2 weeks ago. They had a bye week last week. And they beat Riverside. Riverside, a lot of athletes everywhere, and Riverside's played a lot of close games this year.
Let's punch up Verlin Dormany again at Trinity Christian. Coach, we were talking about this feels like a really big win for you guys tonight.
Absolutely. Like I said, we finally play the ball game without turning the ball over, and it helps us.
Well, what about your young football team, Coach? Do you feel like they're getting better as we get deeper into the season?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing with a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, brand new defense, and it's just kind of taken us a while to get everything under our feet and rolling in the right direction. But hopefully after tonight we made some good strides the last few weeks. I thought we played really well against Columbia, even though we lost. And then we played well tonight. I mean, of course everybody's in a sloppy mess tonight, but kids did a great job. They hung on in the end, and Coach over there does a great job, man. And his quarterback, man, he's phenomenal.
Coach, you talk about a young team. You got a sophomore quarterback. You have a freshman tailback, and then you have another sophomore tailback that's getting a lot of yards. Tell me about Anderson, your running back, freshman. I know you've coached a lot of guys. You coached Crowley, and you can go back to the Bowie brothers.
Trayon Webb.
Yeah, Trayon Webb's another one. Where does Anderson? How is he compared to the guys you've had previously?
He's special. Don't get me wrong, he's special, and he does a great job. He ran the ball a lot for us last year as an 8th grader, and to have him back this year. He didn't get to play in the Columbia game because he got stepped on in the week before, and we had to put like 5 or 6 stitches in his knee. So tonight was the first night he got back, and so he's happy to be back. And we depend on him a lot. I mean, he is our workhorse, And then behind him is another kid named Christian Washington that is just a 10th grader. So. We're just still young all the way around. Our offensive line did a good job tonight, so hopefully we can keep rolling.
Trinity Christian, a winner tonight over Riverside. We got Verlin Dormany of Trinity Christian with us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, you're a Hall of Famer. You're a legend in the game. 9 state championships. Does a season like this, though, is it you're used to 10-0 seasons and making deep runs in the postseason? But when you start slow with a young team and you see them getting better and better and they pull off a win like tonight, I would have to think that's unbelievably gratifying despite all the state championships you've won. A game like tonight really puts things into perspective for you, I'm sure.
No, it does. And believe me, there's been a lot of sleepless nights these last few weeks just because we haven't played that well. And I know it's not because we're not a good football team. It's just because we made mistakes that beat us, and but for these kids just to stay together, because kids today, if things aren't going well, they have a tendency just to back out and not be as committed as they need to be. But these kids have stayed together. They kept working. They're practice every day. And this past week we've had some great practices, and our kids are just, they're really, together and fired up about playing this game. And, and I told them, I said, hey, week 5, it's over. We had a week. We had a bye week. Draw a line in the stand, and let's play this last half like we're 0-0, and let's go, And they came out tonight and played good football.
Coach, final question. Everything's still right in front of you. You're 1-0 in the district. You got a big district game against a very improved Episcopal team next week, but you still control your own destiny for a district championship.
Yeah. We tell our kids that all the time, and you're right. It's a big district game next week over there against them, and then I think the last district game will be against Skip. So, our chances of being in the playoffs again, we got to go win these district ball games, and so we got still some tough games left. That's out of district. We still got to play Lincoln and Fletcher, which are both really good football teams down the stretch. So hopefully we can just keep it together and get out of the injury bug, and kids, just play good football.
Verlin Dormany of Trinity Christian. Coach, congratulations on a big win tonight over Riverside.
Thanks, Hack. I appreciate you calling me, man. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Always appreciate Verlin Dormany, and you could tell that was a big one. That's a season turnaround type of victory, I think.
Yeah, and the way it went down, it was Riverside scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left in the game. Riverside was down 8. They needed a 2-point conversion. Trinity sacked them. Trinity went out and recovered the onside kick and then scored a touchdown with about a minute and a half-ish left in the game to win 22-13. You look at the rankings, Trinity is 6 in the region, and Episcopal is 3.
Speaking of Episcopal, we got Marcus Wells about 30 seconds away.
So in 1A, you're still going to see some changes in these RPI rankings. It's still a little early. You still have another 4 weeks of ball to be played. But Trinity and Episcopal are two teams that are probably, they're going to play each other next week, and they might play each other again in the playoffs in the first or second round.
Right before Marcus Wells, let's give you this scoreboard update. Paxson, a 47-6 winner over Inglewood. It was Ed White, 48-21 over Atlantic Coast. Wolfson, 45-8 winners tonight over Stanton. Ridgeview, 31-8 over Kip Bold City. Mandarin took care of Rockledge. Bishop Kenny was all over Tallahassee Rickards. Beachside is going to defeat Decoy Creek tonight. Providence over Impact Christian. And a little bit of a drama late in the game between Fleming Island and Creekside. What do you got?
Yeah, Creekside, it was down to 16 seconds left in the game. They were down 27-23, and they scored a touchdown with 16 seconds left from like the 2 or 3 yard line.
Wow.
Then they went Wildcat. I don't know if it was the quarterback or running back. It was number 1. And we're about to have kickoff right now, so still a little bit of time left in this Creekside Fleming game.
Another big win tonight for Episcopal. They seem to be winning a lot this year. Marcus Wells is the head coach of Episcopal, and he's always kind enough to join us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, how we doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Doing well. Another big win for you guys, Coach, over NFEI. It was a back-and-forth game there for a while, and you guys ultimately pull away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. It was tough sledding for both offenses, and defense was just kind of making plays and making it look a little ugly, which is what we like. But in the end, our defense stayed strong and held them to 0 points in the second half. And we were able to pull away and get the win.
Your defense held them out in the second half. Who performed well for you tonight, Coach?
Oh man, so our D-line, our linebackers, I can't name them all. We rotate in and out so much. And our secondary too. I mean, it was a team effort defensively, and it was just a grind on offense. We got a pass towards the end of the game to our wide receiver Braden Wessinger, but our D line's led by our senior Sean Wolf, and then we have a linebacker Devin Garland, and they're just the leaders of that defense, man, and they're playing really well right now.
How about this for a stat? In your 6 wins, you guys have only allowed 29 points. I mean, that's an insane number.
Yeah, I mean, we focus on it. We focus on tackling and getting turnovers, and our scheme is something pretty simple that we've run for years. And so the boys have been in it for a while, and they've embraced what we do in all 3 phases. And so to see them kind of reap the benefits of that and be in this position is pretty cool.
Coach, who's the quarterback? I know at the beginning of the year we were talking about the 8th grader. Is that Turpin?
Yeah, so Justice is still our quarterback. He's still rolling and leading our team, man.
Wow. So we just got off the phone with Verlin Dorman. They got a young team. You got a young team, 8th grader quarterback. You got a sophomore running back, Ritter. Who else you got? You got a junior receiver, Wessinger.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all are, I mean, not only good this year, but you got, a lot of talent that can come back next year as well.
Absolutely, man. The future looks bright for us. We know that we have a huge challenge next week for the district title at our place against Trinity, but we're going to enjoy this one a little bit and then look at facing Trinity next week.
And that's, and it's our job to ask, Coach, because obviously we won't talk to you again until next Friday. So bear with me here. That's a big game. I mean, you guys are 6-1. I believe they're coming to your place.
Yeah.
That's as big a game as Episcopal's had in the regular season in quite some time, is it not?
I'll tell you what, it is. It's going to be rocking. Our place will be packed. Our fans will be ready. And we're excited for the challenge, man. And this is something we look forward to, something we built towards, something we work towards through the off season, and we know Trinity is Trinity, and we know what they do. We know that they're well coached, and Berlin has a great group of guys over there. But we're a little different, and we're going to fight, and we're going to compete, and we're going to see what happens.
Well, congratulations on a big win tonight, 6-1 now for Episcopal, and they welcome in Trinity Christian in a big district matchup next week. Marcus Wells, Coach, congratulations. That's going to be some game next week between Episcopal and Trinity Christian.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time they had a big regular season game at home. I know that they won a playoff game at home a couple years ago when they beat Baldwin. I think that was 2019. But yeah, they haven't had a big time game like this, I feel like, in a long, long time. So good for them, and that should be a good one next week.
They are flying the W on Powers Avenue at my alma mater, the Wolfson Wolfpack. Big winners tonight over Stanton. Jermaine Wilson, the head coach of Wolfson, joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, that's a really nice win. That's a Stanton team that have been feeling pretty good about things. The former Wolfson coach, Coach Bettinger, I'm a big fan of his, coming in there. And, boy, you guys just absolutely took care of business tonight.
Yeah, this was one of those things where you can go back and look at it and see it's a complete team win, like offense, defense, and special teams. So this is one of the greatest victories I had so far at Wolfson.
Coach, you've won 3 out of 4. What has changed for you guys in the last month?
Belief. They're really starting to believe in themselves. When we play teams like us, we know that the schedule that we had actually prepared us for these type of games. And now they're just believing. You can feel it around campus now. Like we played Kip, they played Bishop Snyder, then we had a real good game versus Jackson, and that just led us into this week.
Coach, last couple of weeks you scored 49, 30, and 45 tonight. Who's playing well for you on the offensive side?
The whole entire offensive line, they're starting to believe, becoming more of a unit. But Elijah Richards, tonight he scored a 94-yard touchdown interception return. He scored on special teams, and he also scored on offense. I mean, he was just everywhere for us.
Well, Coach, next week is a big district matchup against Baldwin. What's your early thought on that game?
It's going to be another good one. And I'm just ready to see how a guy's going to react from having a real emotional game and emotional win. But the confidence is there. We're playing together as a unit. My offensive line is finally hitting where we're supposed to hit. Elijah Richards, Sam, Towsley, they're actually playing really great right now. And, we're going to put it all out there and see how it falls.
Coach, final question. And you know the history of Wolfson football. There's no doubt there has been massive turnover in the coaching staffs there for the last decade and a half. And it's been tough for the community and the players to buy in. But it does feel like you're starting to build something there, you and your staff, does it not?
Yeah, Coach. We have the same coaching staff, the same offensive coordinator, 2 years in a row. So that's real big for us. And it has, like I said in the media day, once these kids are used to seeing the same coaches over and over, and they're starting to hear my voice and understand what my expectations are, it's becoming an easier sell for the guys to come out. And we're starting to see, I know we only won 3 games, but these ones are starting to show us actually coming together.
Well, as an alum of the school, I'm very happy for you and the program. Congratulations on a good win tonight over Stanton.
Thank you.
Jermaine Wilson, the head coach of Wolfson. They're flying the W on Powers Avenue. They're also flying a W, I believe, in St. Johns County.
Yes, you got Creekside was able to hang on and win and beat Fleming Island 30-27. Fleming Island had one chance. Ball they didn't execute on the play. It was a drop pass. I don't think it would have mattered. Time ran out, and Creekside scores a touchdown with 16 seconds left. They were down 27-23. They end up winning that game 30-27.
So we will absolutely get Sean McIntyre, the head coach of Creekside, coming up here in just a little bit. We're up against a break right now, but we're not going to make the good Dr. Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist hold. Let's welcome Doc Murphy onto the program. Again, Friday Night Lights is presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and they've been with us for a long time. You can go to their website, se-ortho.com. Doc, how we doing, my friend?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Doc, we're good. Thank you so much for the time. Boy, a lot of sloppy fields tonight because of the rain and the weather. I imagine for people like you and your profession that are medical personnel at these games, you probably hate nights like tonight, correct?
Yeah, there is significant risk for more injuries when it's like that, with knee and ankle injuries for sure, with the sloppy fields.
And to that point, and Doc, unfortunately, I think I ask you this every year because it seemingly happens every year. We saw one of those just horrific injuries on Monday Night Football last week to Tyreek Hill, where You knew it was really, really bad. You saw it on TV. The leg is not supposed to bend that way. Now, that's a professional. That's one side of it, but you're attending to high school kids when you're at these games. Doc, when you get out there and you realize, oh, my gosh, this is not good, what is the training for you guys? How do you handle a situation like that?
Well, training for that is I've had a little different training because I was in the Army for 20 years and handled combat casualties. So that's, in the grand scheme of things, a little different. But, seeing that on the field, it's, there's a bad injury, and the risk is the vascularity. So when you dislocate your knee, which he did, so he ripped 3 ligaments in his knee, and his knee dislocated. So when you do that, and everybody saw the way the knee was twisted, you also twist the artery that supplies blood flow to the lower leg. So you can rip the artery. That's the biggest concern. So that needs to be aligned better to take the twist off the artery so that the blood flow isn't compromised. So they didn't show that, but they straightened the leg out at some point and put him in a brace, and then they went to the emergency room and got an arteriogram where they squirted some dye in the artery to make sure the artery wasn't ripped in half. So that's the biggest concern. But training for that, it's just you see those and you just have to deal with it. It's a tough situation for everybody, particularly at the high school level when, at the pro level, the fans are way away. At the high school level, fans, mom, dad are right there. So it's a little more intense when it's at the high school level.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with us. You've been around, sports for a long time, and I'm watching, the NFL, and the 49ers were playing last night, and it seems like almost any key person they have is hurt. Is that something like it's beyond bizarre how many guys they have hurt, whether it be the receivers or the tight end, the quarterback? Is that like something that they're doing on the, with the medical side that they're not doing right, or is that just a case-by-case freak incident that, it's just all happens at one time?
Yeah, that's a great question. You look at that and say, what are they doing wrong? But it's just random stuff. I mean, guys get hurt, and it is what it is. But fortunately, our team's pretty healthy, knock on wood. But that happens, and it's not necessarily their training. You always think when you get hamstrings and Achilles and things like that they're doing something wrong in their prep or their training, but these are just random events for sure.
The good Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, will tell you all about the Bump and Bruise clinics coming up here in just a moment. Let me preface this by saying that we don't have a lot of information on Travon Walker, so we're going to speculate here a little bit. We do know it's a wrist. We know he's day-to-day. He had some sort of surgical procedure on it because that's what Liam Cohen and said, and that's what's come out. But, Doc, there's a thought that depending on the swelling, maybe we'll see Travon on Monday night, maybe we won't. But if we do see him, it will absolutely be in a cast or a club type situation. And you see a lot of guys like Chad Muma this preseason with the Jaguars had a big club on his hand. And I guess you take every precaution imaginable, but if you can't do any more damage to it, and if you wrap it up with one of those clubs and it's good to go, I guess you throw him out there, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, the medical decision is, are you going to cause it, exactly to your point, are you going to cause them further harm by letting them play? That's a tough one. I mean, something that you would fix in a wrist, I mean, a fingers or a thumb that you fix and put a plate on or whatnot that you can put in a brace and protect to some degree and put in a club that he doesn't get it injured is one thing. But a wrist is a different animal. Wrist, my presumption is he had an injury to the outside part where the pinky finger side of the wrist, where he had a scope of the wrist and cleaned up the cartilage there called the TFCC. And we can get into that. But and with that, it's if you just did a debridement and cleaned it up and trimmed it up so that he could potentially play with pain, it would be more of a brace rather than a club. A club on a D-end who's grabbing people, and he uses his hands a lot, would be really detrimental to him trying to function. So it'd be hard to imagine he'd be very, very good at what he does with a club as opposed to using his fingers and hands. So we'll see. It's an odd thing to be able to come back, within a week of surgery on a wrist to play. So I'd put him as doubtful.
Yeah, we'll see what happens Monday night. I would certainly agree with you. Again, the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, Southeast orthopedic specialist. All right, Doc, the Bump and Bruise clinics. These clinics locally are designed to start the treatment process for athletes that were injured tonight before they return to school on Monday. But as we tell people every year, Doc, it's not necessarily just for football players, right? These clinics are open to all sorts of athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody in season, anybody who's been injured, come on in and we'll look at you. We get we get cross country runners. We had them already, and people in season for whatever, basketball players and club sports and all that stuff. So yeah, if you get injured, we're happy to see you. It's a free service. We'll get you going on getting better through the weekend. If you need further diagnostics, we'll get that set up quickly the next week and figure out what's going on and get you going toward recovery quickly.
Locations all over Jacksonville and the surrounding area tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock for the nearest location near you. Visit their website, se-ortho.com, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Bump and Bruise Clinics. The good doctor, Kevin Murphy. Doc, appreciate you as always. We'll talk again next week, pal.
Thanks, Hacker. Appreciate you.
Always appreciate the good doctor, Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. All right, we're going to hit a break. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Jamie Rogers of Bradford County is going to join us. We're going to get Sean McIntyre at some point. They are celebrating at Creekside. What a game, what an ending they just had in their victory over Fleming Island. And you will hear from both Donovan Maslin of Rains and Michael Hunter of Ribault as they get ready for the Northwest Classic. All that still to come as we are with you on the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. We roll on here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Trevor Wallace.
How my dad told me about the birds and the bees. True story. He goes, okay, Trevor, so your mother has a garage.
The Alpha Beta Male Tour.
The second he said that, I was like, I don't think this dude's ever had sex before, And then he doubles down and he goes, I have a limousine. That ain't no limousine. That's a Toyota Sienna, my guy. That is a Toyota.
Saturday, October 11th, Florida Theater. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com. Don't miss Trevor Wallace, the Alpha Beta Male Tour.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASE certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop. Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop. A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund helps families battling childhood cancer, and there are ways you can help. Go to tcjfund.org.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
You have healing power. Even writing a letter or volunteering can help heal a veteran. Find out more at healvets.org.
If you know someone with cancer and no insurance, call the U.S. Uninsured Helpline at 800-234-1317.
Hope Haven believes in children and youth with special needs and abilities and has developed programs to help ensure their success. Find out more about their employment services and internship program at hope-haven.org.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Big night of Friday Night Lights football. Creekside, the game of the night. They just beat Fleming Island 30-27, scoring a touchdown there with 16 seconds remaining. Bishop Kenny, you heard on our air, 92.5 FM, goes to Tallahassee, has no problem with Rickards, 56-14. Bishop Kenny. Mandarin goes down to Rockledge. They take care of Rockledge 38-10, and it was a big victory for the Bradford County Tornadoes. They defeat Palatka tonight 36-0. Let's head to Bradford County. Jamie Rogers, the head coach of the Tornadoes, joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, Hector. Appreciate it.
Coach, obviously, I know you love the goose egg there, the 0. Your offense obviously put it together as well. You must be very pleased with the win tonight.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a struggle in the first quarter. We gave them the ball twice inside the 20. And we're able to keep them out of the end zone both the first two drives, and then our offense really got it rolling. We were able to pound the ball some in the run game and then opened up play action.
Coach, Palaka's got two of the electric playmakers in Alford and KJ Wright, the quarterback and running back. How are you able to keep the genie in the bottle tonight?
Yeah, well, there was a couple times, too. Alford almost wiggled out of there, but, you got to tackle those guys all the way to the ground every single time because they're one cut away. And our guys did a really good job. We messed a couple things up early in the first quarter, but we started playing really good. I mean, we practiced without a ball for the most part on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we started playing assignment football and got better.
36-0 winners tonight. Or actually, was it 36 or 53, Coach? It was 53, correct?
53 was last week, 36 tonight.
36 tonight. All right, so it was 36-0. That's right, 53-0 over Keystone, 36-0 over Palatka. Let me do my Wolfson math on that. What are we looking at? 89-0 in the last two games. That's pretty good. Knowing you and knowing your program, I would imagine next week's game against Newberry is one that you've probably had circled for quite some time.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's been on our board since last year. They got us twice. When I first got here, I told them that we were the hunter, like we would go out and hunt people. Newberry hunted us down and got us twice last year. So yeah, we'll be talking about that a lot. And we've talked about it for the past year. So yeah, I'm ready for this week.
And is it important to keep your kids' emotions in check going into that game? Because obviously there is some raw emotion from what happened a year ago.
Sure. Well, you know, I mean, a lot of these guys are new, but there's a handful of them that played in that game last year. It was Coach Johnson does a great job with his guys. There'll be no unsportsmanlike or anything like that. It'll just be good, hard football. No, we won't. But yeah, you know, we won't have to keep them in check. It'll just be a good, hard football game.
Do y'all have a bye week the last week of the season?
Yeah, we have a bye week, week 11.
So how are you guys health-wise? I mean, you have your last, well, not your last district game. You've already played 2 district games. You're 2-0, then you play Newberry. How are you guys health-wise?
Well, we lost one of our slot receivers tonight to a high ankle sprain. He'll be out for a few weeks for sure, based off of what it looked like, and his pain level right now is a high ankle sprain. But we got 2 of our running backs back tonight. We've been without 2 running backs for a couple weeks that were hobbled with some sprained ankles since week 3. So we're pretty healthy right now. But, you know, for having played 7 straight games without a bye week. So we'll get them healed up this weekend, and hopefully we can get to that. I think we'll have 2 weeks off because we'll week 11, and then I think the hurricane week that FHSA has now. So we'll have a couple weeks to get everybody back healthy.
Coach, final question. And Jamie Rogers of Bradford County here with us. 7 games, your defense has allowed 26 points. I'm smart enough to realize that's less than 4 points per game that you guys are allowing. Just how dominant has your defense been so far?
Well, you know, at the beginning of the year, in the spring we were kind of tinkering with a 3-man front and some different things because we just weren't sure. There were so many pieces that we were unsure about. But then, you know, once it got to the fall camp and then week 1, we just said, hey, let's do what we're comfortable doing. The guys have played in this system, so let's set them in that. Let's let them run around and play. I didn't expect us to be this good this fast. We got some young guys that are having to play, but they stepped up to the challenge. So I'm very pleased with them.
Well, big win tonight over Palatka, and again, Newberry next week in a big district contest for the Bradford County Tornadoes. Jamie Rogers, they are winners tonight, 36-0. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Hacker. Go Big Red.
26 points, Denmark, in 7 games is what they've allowed.
Yeah, and as weird as it is, I'm about to say, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, Bradford's defense and what Coach Rogers has been able to do in the last couple of years since he got over there, that's what they do. They had one year, it was like, it would almost be disappointing when they would give up 7 points when they would put their backups in late in the fourth quarter when they should have had a shutout because, you know, you could have had a history record, you know, put it on the board. You know, as many shutouts as they had a couple of years ago in that team when they made the state championship game. Looking at their region, the Villages is 1, Bradford's 2, Santa Fe's 3, Cocoa is 4.
Mm-hmm.
That is a brutal, brutal region. You look at the first, the top teams in Cocoa and their district, they'll play, what was it I just saw? They'll play the Villages. So, you know, I'm sure that's going to be some shaking around. You know, possibly Bradford might get that 1 seed in that region. Still a little early, but, you know, just looking ahead for the next couple of weeks.
Steve Brown of Paxton, a couple of moments away. Before we get there, let's go to C4. Seatric Faison of Fletcher. They were big winners tonight down at Flagler Palm Coast. And Seatric joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Coach, we were watching that game at the Channel 4 studios tonight. And first and foremost, with the weather conditions, muddy surface, boy, those white jerseys took quite a beating. What was it like playing in those conditions?
It was okay for us. Before the game, I told the guys, you know, over the summer, that's what we do. Every Wednesday was a beach workout for us. So, and it was 4 times like this. So I told them, I was like, you're thinking of it as a beach workout. We know how to run in it. We know how to get our footing, and we know we're going to get dirty. So, for us, it was okay because, like I said, it was a beach workout.
Coach, that's a nice win for you guys. A nice response to the game that happened a week ago. You guys come out tonight, show no effects from that. You must have been very happy with your kids in that response.
Most definitely. We needed a bounce-back win, especially going into a big district week next week. So it it was definitely a good bounce back. But kudos to my coaches because nobody knew, but since Saturday I've been down, so I wasn't able to go around my boys till Wednesday. So my coaches did a great job on coaching them up and giving them great game plans.
Coach, I'm looking at some of these stats for you on the offensive side. It looks like you got a pretty balanced attack. You got about 1,300 yards passing and about almost 1,000 yards rushing. I'm sure you got over the 1,000-yard mark tonight. Offensively, how are you guys? Because it looks like you got a young sophomore quarterback.
Oh yeah, my receivers are seniors, and my running backs are juniors, and both my quarterbacks are sophomores. So, and then my O-line, we're senior heavy, but we got some young guys that step in. It's kind of nobody's been healthy this year, so we're one of those teams that we had next man up. And today was actually the first time that we've been healthy for a few weeks.
Coach, I want to talk about Mandarin, certainly, but I got to ask you, I mean, when you talk about great high school running backs in our area, you're at the top of the list. I mean, you and obviously Derek and what he did at Yulee. When you saw Xander Edwards last week go for 522 and 8 touchdowns, what were your thoughts?
Can't complain. My thing was, what was the score? Because sometimes you can do a lot, but sometimes you run up the score trying to chase stats. But when I seen the score, I was like, oh yeah, he had to make some plays, and that's what the kid doing. He's one of my favorite running backs in the city. He's big, fast, powerful, and he's not afraid of contact. And I tell people these days, man, when you get a running back these days, he's big, powerful, and not afraid of contact, and he runs the score. I say that go a long ways. A lot of kids run to get first downs these days, and not meaning run the score, but Xander runs the score, and the kid, like I say, he's a beast. He's one of my favorites between him and Arthur Lewis and the Madison kid and Bishop Kenny. Man, I love watching those guys play.
And truthfully, we've been spoiled here between Seatric, Leon, Lionel Gates, Derek, Trayon Webb. I mean, there's dozens and dozens more I'm not even mentioning right now. We have had great running backs in this area for the last few decades, and obviously Xander Edwards appears to be one in that line. All right, Fletcher Mandarin. I mean, what else really needs to be said next week, Coach? A gigantic district game for you guys.
It's a big one. I think we're gonna have a good game plan for them. I think our boys are ready. That was one of the scary things about tonight, was making sure we didn't overlook Flagler looking ahead for Mandarin. Everybody knows it's a district game, and last year they beat us 8-0. So we're trying to get back, and at the end of the day, we're trying to get a big win. I'm telling my guys we need that big win going into the day. We're sitting in that nice spot outside looking in the playoffs. But I think Mandarin's going to give us strength to schedule. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win that game. We don't want to go in there and say we're trying to play hard, play tough, keep it close. No, we're trying to win. It's a district, and I've been there before. I've beat 5 or 4 teams before, and we're trying to go in there and be focused. And the good thing is we're healthy. But I know Mandarin's going to bring it as well because, like I said, it's a district game.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a big win against Flagler Palm Coast, and best of luck next week against Mandarin.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Seatric Faison, the head coach of Fletcher, big winners tonight over Flagler Palm Coast. Another dominating performance for Paxson tonight. They were all over Inglewood. Steve Brown, the head coach of Paxson, joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Appreciate it, Hack.
That's a big win. I mean, that over Inglewood, I mean, anytime you win a game like that, that's a nice win. Not only is it a nice win, Coach, it was a dominating performance for you on both offense and defense tonight.
Yeah, we got the running game going early, and we just kind of kept feeding our running back. He had a great first half, and we made a couple little tweaks on defense, and they definitely paid off tonight.
Coach, is it your running back, KJ Palmer?
Yes, sir.
I see before tonight, he 5 games played, he had 777 yards. I'm assuming that the game plan is to give him the ball, about 20 touches a game? Was that the plan tonight?
Yeah, once we popped a big run early, he rushed for over 100 yards last week in the game at Union County. And then tonight, I think he finished with 5 touchdowns as opposed to 300 yards.
Coach, it was a tough outing last week to lose the game in the fourth quarter the way that happened. But for your kids to bounce back 7 days later and to put forth this effort in a just dominating performance over Inglewood, you must have been really happy at the response there.
Oh, very happy. Union County, we definitely felt like that one slipped through our hands, and it shouldn't have. We definitely were the stronger team on the night. We just made too many mistakes in the fourth quarter, and it helped refocus the kids and know moving forward we can't have nights like that.
4-3 through 7 games. You got 3 games to go. Are you happy with where you are as we come down the stretch here?
I mean, I'd love to be 5-2, but being 4-3 right now is good. We've learned from the 2 bad games that we've played against really good competition, and we're just getting stronger, and the kids are understanding. The long-term goal is to make that trip to the Villages, and we just got to get better each week.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A big win over Inglewood, and Impact Christian awaits next Friday night. Steve Brown of Paxson. Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate you guys.
4-3 for Paxson after a win tonight over Inglewood. We'll come back. We'll let you hear from Donovan Maslin, the head coach of Rains. That's one part of the Northwest Classic tomorrow between Rains and Ribault. We will chase down Sean McIntyre as well of Creekside. We will get him on before we sign off tonight. But Donovan Maslin, the head coach of Rains, as they get ready for Ribault tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the Northwest Classic. That's coming up next as the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights roll on. We're presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
You watch the games, so do we.
Dan Higgin and Jeff Prosser, right after every Gator football game, get our reaction to the plays, the calls that stood out to us.
Live streamed on the Swamp Sessions podcast on the 1010XL social channels from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays, the perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
Tom McManus buckles his chin strap as he joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
I just love a man in uniform.
Helmets and heels. Afternoons 2 to 4. Served by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's time to get up and go to the Jacksonville Fall RV Show. Thursday through Sunday, October 2nd through 5th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths and register to win $250 gift cards every day. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show. Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Sunday, 10 to 4. Adults 10 $10. Kids under 12 free. Seniors get half off on Thursday. Military and first responders half off every day. It's the Jacksonville Fall RV Show.
On game day, you trust your team. On storm day, trust the people's roofer, Morgan Conley Roofing. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's second annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Back here under the Friday Night Lights, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. You know, we're previewing or reviewing a lot of games from tonight, but certainly we want to preview the big one tomorrow, the Northwest Classic, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It's Rains, it's Ribault, and another chapter of this great rivalry will be written. Donovan Maslin, the head coach of the Rains Vikings, joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, how we doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. No complaint.
Coach, the night before the Northwest Classic, what's the excitement level for you guys heading into tomorrow?
Oh, man, the adrenaline's pumping, man. We're excited, for the community to come out, just have a great time. It's a district game, so it's, playoff implications, and, I'm sure both teams are ready.
For people that always hear us every year, Coach, talking about Rains, Ribault, the Northwest Classic, but for those that haven't attended one, how would you best describe the atmosphere tomorrow?
A big family fellowship, a big family reunion of, just alumni coming together for one common goal is to support the schools and the kids that are part of the programs. From the cheerleaders to the band, to the Royal Courts, just everybody just coming out, just having a big reunion, a grand of a time with one another.
Donovan Maslin, the head coach of Rains. It never ceases to amaze me when I'm out there, too. You can literally see Ribault from your campus. And you can see Rains from Ribault's campus. You can hear the bell ring if you listen loud enough at the different schools. I mean, it's such an interesting dynamic, the proximity of you guys. And obviously that football game is just a big part of it every year.
Yeah, definitely. Being, Mal, so short, from each other. It's just the rivalry, the trash talk, the bragging rights back and forth, and just stuff like that. They don't like us, we don't like them when it comes to inside the rectangle. But ultimately, once the game is over, we're family. We want to see each other succeed. In the classroom, we want to see them succeed athletically. So it's just a great family affair. Two brothers, two sisters. Just battling it out at the end of the day.
And there's no doubt this is a series that you guys have really established yourself in, certainly as of late. I think I read somewhere a win tomorrow, it would be one of the longest streaks in the series for a consecutive winning streak for one of the given teams.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great to continue that streak. We definitely want to continue the dominance in this rivalry. Nobody wants to be part of the team that, let the streak down. So the kids have been preparing very hard this week. We've done some things. Usually when we have an extra day, we kind of take it easy. But this week, we've been tough on them this week. And, we went, with pads, 3 days, 4 days this week. So we're coming to make a statement. This year is totally different than what we've done in the past. And, the kids have been buying into what we've been doing this year. So they have a goal that they want to reach, and they're working hard to get it.
Final moments, Donovan Maslin, the head coach of Raines and Ribault tomorrow, 2:00 in the Northwest Classic. Coach, you got a really good football team, man. You guys have been dominant early in the year. You hit the midway point of the year tomorrow. I mean, how excited are you with where your football team is here entering the month of October?
I'm excited, man, just to see, both sides of the ball and the special teams start to gel really good. They complement each other very well. In practice, they're at each other's neck. But, ultimately, when we have the same colored jersey on, they play complementary football. And, we want to make sure that we continue to be disciplined. That's one thing that we talked about all week long is continuing to strive to be disciplined in the critical moments of the game, and making sure that we understand the small details of what we're trying to do. We have to make sure we focus on it. And, they've been doing a great job of just week in and week out, practice after practice, getting better, competing at a high level in practice, so that when games come on Friday, they're able to go out and perform at a high level for their family, for their friends, and, ultimately for the school and themselves. So, they have a mission, and, we're just a vehicle to advocate and get them there. And, they're going to go out there and execute the game plan.
Coach, as we wrap up, I mean, let's be honest. One of your problems is you have a tough time finding teams that are willing to play you, which is obviously a testament to the program that you guys have over there. Do you think you're going to be tested enough in this regular season as you enter postseason play in about a month's time?
I felt the Lake Mary game was definitely one that was going to test us. I felt Trinity came out. They were a tough opponent. Ultimately we just found our way in the second half, in that second quarter. And then, with Madison County, they're a state champion. So, they're going to come and, not let up, not give up, not quit. So we expect that to be a hard-fought game. And, ultimately the thing is, it matters not who the opponent is, that, whether they are undefeated team or, they're not undefeated. It's all about, how we're going to go out and execute. And we put ourselves throughout the week and in training camp for these type reasons. We compete at a high level in practice so that we understand in the game, we have to go out and execute in all situations. So we do situational football week in and week out, day after day, so that when it's crunch time and if it's overtime from the 10, our kids understand we've seen this before. So it's not like, we haven't seen it. They know the type of football that they must play every Friday night. It's not a matter of who the opponent is. We have to go out and prove and show that we are one of the top teams and that we are a good football program. So I don't hang my head on, who we're playing. At the end of the day, I try to go out and schedule games that, guys who are willing to play. And that's what we're going to continue to do. So, maybe next year, They know we're losing a lot of seniors this year, so I'm pretty sure my phone will be ringing and emails will be coming in that want to play. But, we're going to make sure that we continue to stay strong, continue to put out great product and great teams. So, we don't worry about that. We know the type of football that we have to play when we go down and deep into the playoffs. We know the teams that we're going to see, and we'll be ready for them.
Coach, invite them out. The Northwest Classic, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Rains and Ribault. Invite them out, Coach.
Yes, sir. So 8 o'clock in the morning, starting at the shops in Sherwood, you will see the parade of both schools, the auxiliaries, the ROTCs of both programs are going to participate in the annual parade. And then at 2 o'clock, the kickoff. It's going to be a great atmosphere, great fanfare for everybody. Just come out, support, have a great time. There'll be tailgating within the neighborhoods. And, just a great time for two high schools to get together and play some Saturday football.
Donovan Maslin, the head coach of the Rains Vikings. Coach, best of luck tomorrow in the Northwest Classic. We'll talk soon, pal.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for having me.
There you go, Donovan Maslin of Rains. Always appreciate him joining us. And again, 2 o'clock tomorrow, Rains Ribault. We will talk to Michael Hunter, the coach of Ribault, coming up here as we put a wrap on the Friday Night Lights inside of the next 15 or so minutes. Game of the night, ending of the night, Creekside and Fleming Island. Creekside punches it in with 16 seconds to go. They get a big W tonight. Sean McIntyre of Creekside joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Man, thanks, Hacker. Appreciate you guys.
What a win. We were watching it. What a win. Punching it in with 16 seconds to go. A back-and-forth game against a good Fleming Island team. This feels like a really good win for you guys, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. Coach McPherson and Fleming Island have a great football team, and they're doing a great job, and hats off to them. For the last, I don't know how many years it's been, it's coming down to the last minute. And, tonight I did some things that weren't very smart regarding our punt team. And it just tried to, but our kids picked me up, and just so proud of them and their resiliency and how we performed and executed in critical moments tonight. It was super impressive by our young men.
That's 2 in a row and 3 out of 4. Are you guys playing, obviously, your best football of the year right now?
Yeah, Hacker, our guys, kind of early in the season, I was talking to our team, the story of bamboo, man. You got to water bamboo for 5 years before it sprouts, and then it shoots up to 90 feet in just a few months. And nobody saw the roots that we were putting down. The games that we played early in the year, the scores were ugly, but the games were more competitive, and our practices were great, and we were getting better. Not many people know this. Our only returning player, our only kid who played on offense last year, broke his leg in the first series of the first game. So we started 11 new kids, and we started multiple sophomores.
Wow! And
they've just come back to work every single week, and for the way that the growth has happened, right? We're seeing the bamboo sprout up now. As we've kind of really grown into our roles here. And tonight, man, we've got some kids, man. Brian Garberich, Samba Tomby, these are two seniors who've never started a game, never played. And we had to start 3 new offensive linemen tonight, 3 kids who've never played. And those kids have come to work for 4 years. They're both seniors. And I doubt they ever thought they would start a game. But, man, they just come to work every single day, get better. And, I mean, they're on scout team a lot, but they work. And I can't tell you how we've had so many kids like that over the last 9 years that have come through our program that I would just lay down in traffic for them because they are the salt of the earth and just unbelievable people. And they're the reason why we're good.
Coach, tell me about the end of your game. I saw the video. There's about 30 seconds left, and you I don't know if it was your quarterback or if it was a wildcat formation. You decided to go counter. What went into that play call?
Yeah, that was the call. We're snapping the ball to our best player, Jackson Earl. He had 2 touchdowns tonight. Last week he had an interception, a punt return for a touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. He's the heart and soul of our team. He's the catalyst for everything that we do, and we were going to put the ball in his hands down there at the end of the game. And he wasn't going to get stopped. And I'm just super proud of that young man and how he responds and how he leads our team. It's super impressive.
Well, Coach, it was a big win tonight for you guys. And as you look ahead, I mean, next week, let's call it what it is. It's a district championship game between you and Atlantic Coast. What a game that should be.
Without a doubt. Coach Durham's doing a great job at Atlantic Coast. They are much better than they've been, and we're going to have our hands full with them, and we're excited to welcome them to the castle. Hopefully the Creekside Crazies come out in full force, but we're excited to host them next Friday night, and winner take all.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win over Fleming, the big win at the end of the game, certainly, and best of luck next week in that district championship matchup against Atlantic Coast.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Sean McIntyre of Creekside. We'll come back. We'll hear from the Ribault side of things in the Northwest Classic. We just heard from Raines. We'll hear from Ribault. We will also give you an AA Automotive Player of the Night, and we'll start putting a wrap on what has been a very eventful Friday night, the first Friday already in the month of October. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, Friday Night Lights. We've been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. More to do as we roll on here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Jacksonville, All Elite Wrestling is coming home to Daly's Place for 2 huge nights. Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and as special Wednesday Collision, October 8th. Feel the real as the greatest professional wrestlers in the world deliver a homecoming to remember. Championships at stake on a Tuesday, and stars collide on a special night. It's AEW's Homecoming with Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and Collision, October 8th. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This date in sports history is brought to you by